Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now Kat Scrappiness had a new release over the weekend and this ugly sweater 6x6 premium cardstock was part of it. And I'm just going to show you, it's got some fun ugly sweater patterns on it, but it also has some cute, just other, festive patterns that would be good for Christmas. And I'm going to use some of the plainer ones today for our card, but we're going to use the red, the green snowflakes, and then the cream colored stars. I'm going to bring in the Fine Line Flowers craft die set. We're going to use these 3 small ones and we're going to layer them up to just create a poinsettia looking flower. We're going to bring the Christmas lantern add-ons, and I'm going to use the Merry Christmas stamp set and the coordinating die. And then we're going to bring in some frames for our pattern paper so that we can create some nested frames. And this is called the label frame craft die. We're going to use that. And then I've also got some foliage, can't say that, a craft die, and I'll link all the materials in the description box below for you to check it out. As you can see, I've got all of my pieces die cut out. I'm also going to bring in this coffee pearl mix as well to use for the center of our poinsettia. And I've got my card base here and I've got it ready. I just need to give it a good press with my Kat Scrappiness bone folder. This is the one that has their name etched in it. And I like to just give my cards a good press before I get started. I'm going to bring in my pattern paper and get it laid down on here. We're just going to start creating the base for our focal point. And you can see it's got a really cute, fun, ugly sweater pattern on the back of this paper. Now you can pick up this glue press in the Kat Scrappiness shop. I will link everything in the description box below so you can check it out. But she sells the glue press, and it's a good price, so I would encourage you, if you're interested in it, to pick it up there. I'm going to get this pattern paper laid down on here. Then we're going to bring in those frames, the label frame dies, and I've got 3 of them, and we're just going to layer them up. I wanted to really kind of showcase this ugly sweater pattern paper and just kind of use, but you can see that the pattern, those 2 patterns that I'm using are front and back, and I'm just going to layer them up. We're going to glue the big one straight down, and then we will attach the 2 smaller ones and we'll pop them up to add a little bit of dimension to our card. And honestly, you could use that star pattern for anything. It wouldn't necessarily have to be holiday. Now this is like, this teal has like a green snowflake type and red stars and white stars on there, I think. And it does look a little bit festive, because of the snowflakes. And so then I flipped it out. I've got another piece of it. I flipped it over and I die cut out the cream with the red and green stars. And then I also used a piece of my vellum for my stash. And I just stepped down a layer and created another frame. And we're just going to put these down. I put a couple of runs of tape runner on there in the area where I knew it wouldn't show because I'm going to have my die cut pieces be on top of it. So I'm just going to bring in a couple of strips of foam and we'll get it laid down on here. And then we can add this to our card base and we can begin working on the fun elements of our card. And I just like to give my foam tape a press so that when I go to lift that release paper off, I don't pull the foam off of the back of my piece there, and it's good and adhered. So I'm going to get this lined up on here nicely, and then we will get the rest of our elements together and we will put together a card. Now I did leave this in real time. It only took me about 12 minutes to put this card together. Of course, I did do all of my die cutting in advance, so that did take, kind of shortened the video length of it. It didn't take very long because I think I only ran a couple of passes. Oh, maybe 4 passes on my die cutting machine for all of the elements that I have here. And I just needed to grab my pick and stick tool, and because there was a piece of die cut laying there, and then I've got my sentiment. I've already got it stamped and die cut out. And we're just going to bring in some little bitty foam squares and just put dimension between each layer of this, what I'm calling a poinsettia. And then we'll stack them, and we've got some dimension. And then for the top piece, that's why I brought in the coffee pearl mix. I'm going to grab, it's got some pretty good pearls in it, pretty good sized pearls, and I'm going to use one for the center of this flower. So I'll just grab one of those out of there and we'll get it stuck down on there. And I cannot find my triangle tray from Kat Scrappiness. I'll bring in just a plastic one later and use it. I don't need one for this because I'm just going to use one pearl. But for the rest of the embellishments, I'll bring in a tray, and it is not my triangle tray from Kat Scrappiness. I have two of them, and I couldn't locate either one of them. I need to do a little bit of a craft room cleanup. I've got just a few things out of the way and not put up that are kind of annoying me right now. And so I need to take a minute and just do kind of a quick cleanup. I've got to get my cardstock. I keep various companies' cardstock in separate bins, and I've kind of got 2 or 3 of them out and kind of out of order. I need to get them put up. I've got some kit elements laying here and there that need to be put up, and just some bits and pieces here and there that I just need to get organized and put away. So I'm just kind of fiddling with my design here, trying to figure out. And this one piece is really long, and I'm just trying to figure out how I can tuck several of these. I want to use several of the leafy elements to create just a cluster. And so I'm just kind of eyeballing it here, and then I'll position my sentiment on there to kind of get an idea. I think I know where I'm going, and I'm going to cut this one down. It's too long, and then we'll cluster them up. Now, I like to bring in a little scrap piece of cardstock or a little die cut circle out to just kind of help me glue my cluster together. So I'm just taking this red cardstock that I had die cut out, the Merry Christmas, and I'm just going to put a little petal of glue, and then we'll just start attaching all of our bits, and it'll just help me to get everything positioned and stuck together, and then I can lift it up and add it to my card base as a whole. And so I'm just going to tuck my leafy elements in there, and then we'll get our flower in there, and then we can just pick it all up as a whole and lay it down on our card base. I don't know why I'm adding more glue. There is plenty of glue on there, but for some reason I thought I needed to add a little bit more. And I'm just going to pinch it, and then I think I'm going to move that one leaf a little bit, I think. And then we'll add some glue to the base of that, and we'll get it laid down on there. Just trying to get everything positioned how I want it. I've got a little gnat flying around in here too. It's canning season, and so we're fighting the gnats right now. Just getting some bits, some glue on some different bits, and this is where I'll move that one little leaf and try and adjust it a little bit. And I think I've got a nice little cluster here. It's really pretty. And I've got a couple of pieces that I die cut out that I can save for later. And I'm just cleaning the glue off around that pearl, coffee pearl that I added to that poinsettia. And I have a little bit of dimension with my leaves. They're not all glued completely down, so some of them are kind of popped up and adding some dimension. I'm going to just slap some glue on the back of this Merry Christmas. We'll get it laid down on our card base. And then we've got some room for some embellishment. And Kat Scrappiness has a lot of embellishment pieces. And so I'll just go dig out some, and we'll get them added to it. I'm taking the tweezers now, and I'm cleaning up the glue around that pearl, coffee pearl. So I'm just going to get this stuff put up, And I'm going to go look for some sequins to add to our card. And I've got all of mine from Kat Scrappiness. I've got them organized by color. And this is my little white bag. And so I'm going to bring in some white AB sequins and get them laid down on here. And I'm trying to find that triangle tray. And I can't find it, so I just go with this little tray here. I probably picked this up at the Dollar Tree or something. And I'm just going to make sure. I was worried because they do have a little bit of a blue cast to them. They are white, but it's kind of an iridescent, and it looks a little bit blue, but I wanted to test it out there. And it's going to work, so I'm just going to add several of these. I start off with 3, and then I wind up adding a couple of more, just kind of filling in the different areas of the vellum where it's just a little bare. And I think it adds just the right amount of shine to it. And I think we've got some really fun cardstock on here. We've got 3 different layers of that ugly sweater cardstock, and I think it looks really pretty. Here's where I decide to stick a couple more around that Merry Christmas sentiment. And I think it worked out pretty well. Sometimes I don't like how I lay my embellishments down, but for this one, I did like how I got them laid down on there. So we'll get our rest of our embellishments put back in our container and get all of our tools put up. We'll just take a quick look at it. I think it came together really pretty, and I hope you like it. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.